Australia government on Wednesday filed 59 charges against the only surviving suspect, Naveed Akram, who is one of the suspected persons allegedly responsible for the mass shooting at Bondi Beach in the city of Sydney targeting Jewish people on the Jews' first day to mark this year's Chanukah festival, which led to the killing of 16 persons, including a married couple who was said initially tried to disarm one of the attackers before the husband and wife were killed, children aged 10 and above, and the suspect father and co-perpetrator, Sajid Akram, who was killed on the spot by the police, and 41 others including police officers and the bystander, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who disarmed the 50-year-old one of the gunmen. Some of the 20 of the injured persons are still in critical condition in the hospital based on statement issued on Wednesday by local authority in Sydney. This, according to the New South Wales Police Force in a statement published on its website on Wednesday. The suspect was brought before the court, following extensive inquiries under Operation Arcs. Today, Wednesday the 17th of December, New South Wales Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, JCTT investigators attended a hospital where they charged a 24-year-old Bondi man with 59 offences, including commit terrorist act, 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of cause wounding, grievous bodily harm to person with intent to murder, discharge firearm, intent cause grievous bodily harm, cause public display of prohibited terrorist organization symbol, place explosive in near building with intent cause harm. And the court adjourned the case to April 2026 after the suspect made first appearance from his hospital bed before the Bail Division Local Court 7 via audio-visual link, AVL. The suspect was critically injured during the incident on Sunday, and had his first hearing from his hospital bedside, the local New South Wales court said. Earlier on Wednesday, New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon said they were waiting for medication to wear off before formally questioning Akram. For his fairness, we need him to understand what is exactly happening, Lanyon said. Police have designated the attack a terrorist incident, with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese saying it appears to have been motivated by Islamic State group ideology. Police said, homemade Islamic State group flags and improvised explosive devices, IEDs, have been found in the vehicle used by the gunman. According to the New South Wales Police Force, the New South Wales Joint Counter-Terrorism Team has formally charged a 24-year-old man alleged to be one of 2 gunmen responsible for the Bondi Beach mass shooting that claimed the lives of 15 people. About 6:40 p.m. on Sunday the 14th of December 2025, emergency services were called to Bondi Beach following reports of a public place shooting. Officers attached to Eastern Suburbs Police Area Command, surrounding commands, and specialist police responded and located 2 men using long arms to fire into crowds of people. Multiple officers exchanged fire with the gunman, and 2 officers, a constable and probationary constable, suffered gunshot wounds. During the incident, 1 gunman, a 50 Israeli government has blamed the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, over the father and son terrorist act of mass shooting in Bondi Beach on Sunday evening around 6:47 p.m. in accordance with Australia local time, leading to the killing of 16 persons, including one of the suspected terrorists and a 10-year-old girl, and 42 others sustained injuries, according to the Premier of New South Wales State, Christopher Minns, when members of the Jewish community in the Sydney City of Australia came out in large numbers on day 1 to celebrate this year's Chanukah festival. This, the Israeli government, through the video statements made by the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, during government meeting in Dimona, and when he lit the first Chanukah candle in Israel later on Sunday, said, there may be more terrorist attacks on the Jewish people because the Australia government is weak. We know there will be additional attacks. The safest place for the Jewish people in the world is where the government, the army, and the security forces will defend them, saying, on August 17, 2025, he wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Australia wherein he said, your call for a Palestinian state pours fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorists. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Antisemitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent. It retreats when leaders act. I call upon you to replace weakness with action, appeasement with resolve. Instead, Prime Minister, you replaced weakness with weakness and appeasement with more appeasement. Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia. You did nothing to curb the cancer cells that were growing inside your country. You took no action. You let the disease spread, and the result is the horrific attacks on Jews we saw today. In a tweet posted through his personal verified X social media account few hours ago, Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said, "In moments like this, we must come together. Australia stands united against hatred and terror." Speaking during the news conference on Sunday, Australia's Home Minister, Tony Burke, gave more details about the gunmen, who happened to be father and son, Sajid Akram and Naveed Akram. He says the father arrived in Australia in 1998 on a student visa. The son, who we know is Naveed Akram, is an Australian-born citizen. The father, a 50-year-old, was killed at the scene, taking the total number of dead to 16, while his 24-year-old son is in a critical condition in hospital. Local media reported that both men pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group, adding that Naveed first came to authorities' attention in October 2019, but the Australian Prime Minister said an assessment was made that there was no indication of any ongoing threat or threat of him engaging in violence. His father arrived in Australia on a student visa in 1998, which was transferred in 2001 to a partner visa and later resident return visas. Meanwhile, the man who tackled one of the gunmen to the floor and saved people from getting shot at Bondi Beach in Australia was identified as Ahmed Al-Ahmed. Not less than 11 persons, said to be mostly from the Jewish community and police officers, were shot dead by terrorists on Sunday at Bondi Beach in the Sydney city of Australia as thousands came out to mark this year's Hanukkah or Hanukkah festival, a festival that is known as the Jewish Festival of Lights, usually an 8-day winter celebration marking event of the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and a miraculous long-lasting oil supply, observed by lighting candles on a menorah, Chanukah, and reciting special prayers, and eating oily foods like latkes and sufganiyot, which symbolizes Jewish resilience and freedom. The terrorists attacked the Jewish community on the first day of the festival after Israel government had on Saturday authorized the killing of a senior Hamas commander, Raad Saad, who Israel, through a statement issued by the Office of the Prime Minister of Israel, stated that, in recent days, Raad Saad had been engaged in rehabilitating the terrorist organization, planning and carrying out attacks against Israel and rebuilding an attack force, in blatant violation of the ceasefire rules and Hamas's commitments to adhere to the US President Donald Trump's plan, stating, instead of promoting demilitarization, he was engaged in rearming for acts of terrorism. Although Israel government has not issued any statement since the Sunday attacks on Jewish community in Sydney as at the time of filing in this news report on Sunday, but Hamas, in a news report published by Al Jazeera, confirmed that Saad had since been killed by Israeli soldiers in the Gaza city of Palestine. One of the video footages of the Sunday attack on the Jewish community in Sydney showed a moment an apparent very brave man disarmed one of the gunmen during the mass shooting, overpowered the suspected terrorist, collected the gun and turned the gun against the suspected terrorist without shooting him, and the suspect gets away, then joins another suspected terrorist shooter who continues firing from a bridge. New South Wales Police declared the shooting as an act of terrorism, and the New South Wales Police Commissioner, Mal Lanyon, said an improvised explosive device was found in a car at the Bondi Beach, linked to the deceased perpetrator. The police commissioner added that a rescue and bomb disposal unit has been deployed to the scene. Local media reported that an emergency services transported 8 injured people to hospital after providing urgent treatment on site, and 11 persons have been confirmed dead by the local authority. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called the scenes shocking and distressing, and said police and medical teams are continuing efforts to protect lives as the investigation develops. The police confirmed that there are 2 known suspects. One is dead while the other is in a life-threatening condition in hospital. Officers are currently investigating whether there was a third perpetrator involved in the attack. An improvised explosive device was found in a car at Bondi, which was linked to the deceased perpetrator. We'll bring you the latest updates as we get them. The man who was seen in footage wresting a firearm from one of the shooters at Bondi Beach has been praised as a genuine hero by the New South Wales State Premier, Christopher John Minns. The State Premier, Christopher Minns, said at a press conference on Sunday that
Osazuwa Connected, bringing you the news in a more digital way.